Hello to all Annabelle and Grace readers, and welcome to Yoga with Maddie. I'm so sorry not to have Jane and Annabelle with me today, but now we're social distancing, we have to continue our yoga practice on our own. However, Annabelle has asked me if I will do a follow-up to my beginner's stretch sequence of a week ago, so I've just put a short sequence together that basically you can incorporate with the sequence from last time, or you can just do it on its own. We're moving slightly more into some yogi moves, but really they're just names. At the end of the day, it's just stretching with strength. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to begin by just warming through the body. I'm going to do a little bit of core work and then a little bit of standing work. So as I say, just taking everything on a stage. If you find any of the poses too strong, always just come down into child's pose. Just work at whatever feels right for your body today. Anyway, so we're going to begin by just taking a few big breaths in through the nose and out of the mouth. Breathing is just very calming, helps to relieve any stress or anxieties that a lot of us are feeling at the moment. And if possible, as we do the sequence, try to breathe and keep going with your movements. So, without more ado, let's start. Placing right hand by right hip, just big inhale with your left arm, and exhaling over to the side, and that lovely stretch through from sit bone to fingertips. A few big breaths. And an inhale, coming back up, and exhaling. And a big inhale up with the right arm, and exhaling, hand coming over to the left. I'm really stretching through my side body. And let's do that one more time. So right hand by right hip. Inhale with the left arm and reaching over to the right. I was thinking the ribs getting a good old stretch out, parting out. And coming back down, left hand by left hip. Inhale with the right arm and exhaling over to the side. And coming back to centre, a little bit of a jiggle around, and we're just going to have a bit of a stretch up, so just sweeping your arms up, hands together. I'm just clasping my thumbs together, inhaling up, and I'm exhaling. I'm going to just fold forwards, folding down to the ground, and coming down to whatever's comfortable for you. Having a few breaths here, and it feels nice. And then when you're ready, just using your hands to come back to seated. This time I'm going to take my hands behind my back and I'm going to clasp them together and move forward so I don't end up having a fight with the wall. And taking a big inhale and bring my hands up behind me and coming forwards, my hands coming up. And this is wonderful for pulling your shoulders back and your shoulder blades. You really feel them coming together. Coming back up. It's a great stretch for just opening the shoulders. Too much of us spend all our time with our shoulders hunched together over computers or phones or slumped on the sofa watching telly, particularly at the moment while we're all having rather a sedentary existence. So we're just going to do some gentle twists through the waist now. So I'm going to take my right hand behind in line with my coccyx and bringing my left hand on my right knee. Big inhale facing forward, and then turning to the side of the room. And don't try and yank your neck round any further than your body, just your chin in line with your sternum, and just breathing in. It's a nice twist through the waist. And coming back to centre, I'm going to do that on the other side, so this time right hand on left knee, left hand at the base of my spine by my coccyx, and big inhale facing forwards and exhale turning to the side. And just breathing in. And coming back to the centre. I'm going to do that one more time because that feels rather nice. So again, right hand at the base of your spine, left hand on right knee, inhale facing forward and exhale as you turn. So if you try and think about, we inhale when we lengthen and we exhale as we turn, or maybe we're contracting. And one more right to the opposite side, so right hand on the left hand at the base of my spine. Big inhale and exhaling as you turn. And coming back to centre. We're going to come on to all fours now, which is something that we did last time. So just checking that hands beneath shoulders, a nice big wide hand span. When I put my hands down, my middle finger is actually, I had to draw a line, my middle finger all the way up my arm to my shoulder. Knees are beneath hips, and just perhaps have a little jiggle around, whatever feels nice to you. And look at my right hip, and then turning to my left. Few big breaths, and just come into neutral. And when you're in box, think about engaging your abdominals. So you're holding your belly in at this point. And we're going to begin with a little bit of core work now. I'm going to tuck my toes. I'm going to lift my knees about an inch off the ground, and it's quite strong. You'll probably feel it going into your thighs. Just taking a few breaths, spine in neutral. So I'm just looking down between my hands, engaging my abdominals to keep me in place. If at any point it feels too strong, just come down onto your knees. In fact, I've had enough. I'm going to drop my knees down, flatten my feet, and I'm going to push back into child's pose. So tail coming to heels, stretching out all the way through from your fingers into your armpits. And I'm keeping my head off the ground because I'm sort of keeping quite an active pose at the moment. A few big breaths. That's nice. Now we're going to come back up into box. Now we're going to lift our heels and knees again, but this time you're going to arch your back. So tucking toes, inhale, lifting knees, and I'm going to do is I'm looking back towards my toes, really arching through my back. And this really is a strong pose on the thighs. And just taking a few breaths. And then dropping your knees down and flattening feet. And just coming back to a neutral spine. And I'm going to come into a classic yogic pose, downward dog. And downward dog is one of those things, you can work on it for years and years. There's a lot going on. But let's begin by just tucking your toes, lift your knees, and just feel as though you're aiming your hips back to the wall behind you. Straightening out your legs. Now, it might be at this stage that your legs are bent. That's absolutely fine. Come to whatever works for your body. We're aiming to get heels to the ground, but certainly if you run and you've got tight hamstrings or basically for lots of reasons, heels won't come down straight away. Let's take a big inhale up onto the balls of your feet. Exhaling back down into our downward dog. And we're just going to start to walk our feet up towards our hands. Bent knees, just very gentle. And folding forwards, chest coming to rest on your thighs. Folding forwards is always, it's a calming pose. So just folding down. And perhaps straightening your legs a little bit, holding your elbows. Letting your head hang heavy and coming into ragdoll. Just swaying from side to side. Whatever feels nice for your body. A few big breaths. And we're going to slowly start to curl up. So I'm just bending my knees. And just unravelling one vertebrae at a time to come to standing. I'm going to turn to face you. Just so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to come into Tadasana, standing pose. Who thought standing could be so involved, but it can be. So just standing with your feet hip distance apart. Lift your knees. The minute you lift your kneecaps, you're going to start to engage your leg muscles. Engage your glutes, engage your abdominals, and bring shoulders and shoulder blades down. So in actual fact, while we're standing, we're engaging an awful lot of muscles. And just take a few big breaths in your Tadasana, your standing pose. And what we do is just bring our arms up, hooking fingers together again. I don't know if you can see my hands, but inhaling and just coming over, hands to the right, hips to the left. And breathing in. coming back up to centre. And what we do one side, we have to do the other, staying balanced in yoga. So big inhale, and hands coming to the right, left even, hips to the right. Great. We're going to come and do some modified sun salutations now. So most vinyasa yoga practices begin with a few sun salutations. We're just going to break them down. We're going to do the first part. Again, forget what it's called. At the end of the day, it's stretching with strength. So that's what we're going to do. So standing, feet hip distance apart. And we're going to actually hit the wall. We're going to take our arms up. Big inhale and exhale, folding forwards. Coming down, maybe your knees need a gentle bend. And then we're going to inhale, coming up to a halfway lift. So for some people, their hands may be on the ground, sometimes on calves, sometimes on thighs. We're aiming to get a sort of L shape. And then exhale, bending your knees, drop your sit bones, and then pushing up to standing. Hands into heart centre. And I like to use that as an opportunity to really engage the glutes because your glutes are your powerhouse, so we want to keep them working. So let's come back up again, arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, drop your sit bones down and coming back up to standing, engaging your glutes and hands into heart centre. We're going to repeat that again. So arms, big stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, drop your sit bones if you can. Try and get a nice straight line between your knee and your sit bones. And then engaging your glutes to push you back up and hands into heart centre. We're going to do that one more time, but this time taking it a little bit further. So come with me. So big inhale, exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And this time you're going to place hands and step back into plank. Now, if plank is too strong, just drop your knees. If you can, hold in plank for a few breaths. And then dropping knees, flattening feet, and we're going to come down into Sphinx. So just lowering your body down to the ground, hands coming forward. I've got a nice straight line between my shoulder and my elbow in my Sphinx position. And you'll have a slight back bend. You'll probably feel a slight compression in your lower spine. If it's hurting or uncomfortable, just come to lie on your mat. That's absolutely fine. But we're just going to stay here just for a couple of breaths. I'm going to bring my right hand across my body and I'm going to lift up my left leg and bring my left hand round. I'm just going to lower my body down actually so my head is on my right hand. I'm just going to have a good old stretch through the quads on my left leg. That feels nice. And just breathing in. And then release, and we'll do it on the other side. So left hand comes across, I'm going to lift my right foot, right hand comes round to find it. I'm just lowering my head onto the ground, wherever's comfortable for you. Just able to stretch through your right quad. And breathing in. That's great. And now we're going to have one final move. We're going to come back up into downward dog. So placing your hands and engaging your triceps to push you back up to box. And then tucking toes and coming back up into downward dog. A few big breaths, perhaps inhaling back up onto the balls of your feet. Exhaling down. And then looking towards the front of the mat. We're going to walk our feet up to our hands. I'm just going to come to turn to face you. Big inhale up. Exhale. Hands into heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.